Hello everyone, just wanted to let you know this video was meant to be posted before What If Deku was a Dragon Rider, but ended up being posted after due to, well, YouTube being stupid, basically. Anyway, enjoy. Hello everyone, I'm Mini Mushroom, and I am so sorry it took so long. I'm so sorry. Anyway, recently I found out that the first part of the series got over 2,000 views. I mean, that's insane! Also, shout out to United States of Smash. It turns out I inspired him to do What If videos themselves. The link to their channel is in the description if I remember it. I'm actually going to say 30 likes for part 5. Also, no,
subscribe so you don't miss the new What If. I've recorded this so many times now. Onto the video. Deku is with his therapist, Dr. Yume, telling him about his new dreams. Dr. Yume puts his hand to his forehead and sighs. You really are a strange case, Izuku. Deku remained silent. I looked into the people in your drawings as well as the glowing creature. What did you find? Honestly, not that much. Dr. Yume picks up the file of Luca. No, not the file. The picture of Luca. I found that this one matches the description of a John Doe file. Some sailors witnessed a glowing circle in the sky and he fell out of it. He died before they found out who he was. Nothing on the others. Deku falls silent again. Izuku. Yeah? Isn't your birthday around July 15th? Yeah, exactly July 15th. Why? A bewildered look came across Dr. Yume's face. He figured it was a possibility, but he didn't actually think it would be the exact date. That event was 15 years ago on July 15th. Deku's face showed shock. And that's not the weirdest part. What's the weirdest part? Dr. Yume picked up the drawings of Korra, Luca, and Rava. Yesterday, these three pictures began to glow. With these two, it was just the eyes. Dr. Yume shook the drawings of Luca and Korra. With this one, it was the whole creature. He shakes the drawing of Rava. Yesterday? Yeah, is that significant? Yesterday, we had hero versus villain training in class. At one point, it looked like I was knocked out. I don't remember much after. I don't remember. I spit it out, Izuku. I don't remember much after I got knocked out, but I was told my eyes began to glow and that a hurricane formed around the building. Dr. Yume was incredibly surprised. Luckily, everyone ended up okay in the end. Dr. Yume thinks for a moment. I think you should try and find an opportunity to try and visit the city where the John Doe file was reported. That's probably going to be a bit difficult with the tight schedule I got from going to school at UA. A bit later, Deku's appointments are early in the morning to fit with Dr. Yume's schedule. Deku is walking to UA and is stopped by the press. One of the reporters aggressively approached Deku and asked what it was like to train under All Might. Deku responds with the fact that he needs to go to the nurse's office and get the last bit of treatment for his injuries. A bit later, Aizawa tells them to leave, although they don't, and the gates need to shut to keep the paparazzi out. Later, Aizawa gets to the classroom. Good morning on yesterday's combat training. I saw the video and results. Although, Midoriya, Deku perks up. Whatever that was, get it under control. Yes, Mr. Aizawa. Now, sorry to bring all this on you so suddenly, but you need to choose a class rep. Everyone started debating on how they should choose the class rep. Ida recommends the voting system and they go with that. After everyone votes, it ends up with Deku having 5 votes for him, impressing literally everybody with his display in the training, and knowing that he is somehow very powerful. Deku is obviously surprised. Yaoyorozu is still vice. A bit later, Deku is eating lunch with Uraraka and Ida. He's not sure he should be class rep. He brings this up to Uraraka, and she assures him he is. Ida begins to speak. Your courage at critical moments make you worth following. At least that's why I voted for you. It was you? Uraraka stops eating for a moment. But didn't you want to be class rep, Ida? Wanting the role and being deserving of it are completely different issues. I merely did what I judged to be correct. You know, Ida, I've been thinking. Are you a rich boy? I tried to change how I talk because I don't want to be called that, Ida sighs. My family has been pro-heroes for generations. Do you know the turbo hero Ingenium? Of course! Deku cries out. He starts to talk a bit about Ingenium. He's my elder brother. He's a likable hero who honors the rules and leads people. I set my sights on being a hero because I want to be just like my brother. However, I think it's still too soon for me to lead others. Suddenly, an alarm started to go off. Everyone begins to panic and run through the halls. Deku gets knocked to the ground next to a window. He and Ida then see that it's just a press. Someone needs to get everyone's attention and calm them down. Deku is being pushed against the wall. He realizes he can try to use air to blow him up. He moves his hands circularly. Then, he gets shot up in the air. He grabs the bar and uses firebending to get him to the front. Everyone calm down. It's just a press outside. There's no reason to worry. Everyone is calmed by the information and the media is taken care of. Izuku is rather pleased that even if he wasn't entirely sure how, he managed to use air. Later, Aizawa revealed that the class will be focusing on a rescue training. You can decide whether or not to wear your costumes this time, because there are probably costumes that limit your ability. The training will take place off campus, so we're taking a bus. That's all. Start getting ready. On the way, Kirishima is talking to Deku. You're pretty lucky. You've got a really flashy quirk. Mine isn't that flashy, so I probably won't be that popular. Deku tells Kirishima that his quirk is awesome and really powerful. This is when Tsu mentions that Bakugo probably won't be popular because he's such a hothead. Then, Tsu brings up how Deku's quirk has similarities to All Might's. Deku gets a bit panicked, although Kirishima thinks otherwise. Wait a sec, Tsu. All Might doesn't get hurt when he uses his quirk. Also, he can't make fire with his punches, Mina butts in. Also, All Might can't do that glowy eye thing that Midoriya did in training. The bus falls quiet. No one really talked about that incident ever since it actually happened. The bus was quiet the rest of the ride. When they get to the USJ, Aizawa asks where All Might is, which is when 13 reveals that he's not coming because he spent all his time. 13 then talks about how quirks can be dangerous if used in the wrong way and how heroes need to be careful. Then the lights of the USJ grow dim, and a black mist appears in the middle. Aizawa immediately knows what this is. Gather together and don't move. 13, protect the students. Villains start coming out of the black mist. Aizawa says that he'll hold off the villains. No, your quirk isn't suited for this, Deku protests. Your power works best in stealth and one-on-one. It's not going to help in a large group. Aizawa turns and says, Can't be a pro if you only have one trick. Aizawa jumps into the fray. The students start to run but get cut off by Kurogiri. Nice to meet you. We are the League of Villains. It may be presumptuous of us, but we've decided to let ourselves into the home of heroes, in order to have All Might take his last breath. I believe All Might was supposed to be here. 13 gets ready to attack, but Kirishima and Bakugo go in head first. Kurogiri gets gets most of the students and separates them around the USJ. Deku is dumped into water and obviously analyzes Kurogiri's quirk for a second. A villain starts to swim towards Deku. Tsu kicks the villain, saving Deku, then brings him up to the boat. Deku decided that they need to strategize. They knew Yuei's schedule. They were waiting to pounce, just as Todoroki said. Those guys down there are clearly assuming we'll fight in the water, right? They sent Tsu, to the shipwreck zone. Well, what about it? Mineta asks. That means, in other words, the villains probably don't know what our quirks are. They probably separated us because they don't know our quirks, so they plan to overpower us with numbers. Tsu steps in. I'll tell you about my quirk. I can jump really high, stick to walls, and stick my tongue out about 20 meters. I can also spit up my stomach and wash it and secrete a toxic mucus that just stings a little. Those last two are probably useless. You're really strong. My quirk is called Kinetic Fire. I have a kind of super strength that also creates large kinetic forces. But I can also create and control fire. I can also control wind, but I can't really do much with that right now. I also have that weird thing that happened during training, but I'm not sure what it is or even if I can do it again. Mineta is up next. He pulls off a ball and sticks it to the boat. I can stick these really tight. Depending on how I'm feeling, they can even stick for a whole day. They grow back as soon as I pull them off. If I pull off too many, I start to bleed. They don't stick to me. I just bounce off. Mineta starts crying about his quirk being weak. Whoever got me back in, they should have just let me stay expelled. Deku puts his hand on Mineta's shoulder. Mineta, I'm the one who got you back in. What? Yeah, and I risked getting expelled myself to do it. I did it because I thought you could become a great hero one day. And looking right now, I don't regret any of it. You don't? I don't. I still believe that you can be a great hero. Mineta sniffs and says, Thanks, Midoriya. At that moment, one of the villains got impatient and hit the boat with a giant water hand. The trio gets knocked down. Deku looks like he got knocked out. Tsu notices the boat sinking. Deku then found himself in a black void, with the woman from his dreams standing in front of him. You're in danger. I'm going to inhabit your body to fend off the attackers. Afterwards, you need to seek out your past. What? What do you mean? Wait a minute, who are you? They sat silent for a moment. I'm you. It's broken! Deku stands up. Tsu looks at him. Midoriya, get down! You'll fall off the ship! Deku turns. Tsu and Mineta see that his eyes are glowing. They gasp and back up a bit. Deku walks to the edge and jumps off. Mineta cries out, Midoriya! The water comes up in a funnel and catches Deku. The water hides Deku for a moment, and when it reveals him, people see Korra. Obviously, the villains are mega confused. Mineta freezes for a moment. What the heck? Whatever that is, it looks like it might be able to do anything. Midoriya is controlling water now. The water around the water pillar started to rotate and pull in the villains. Mineta, throw your balls! Mineta starts throwing his balls into the water, sticking the villains together. The Avatar throws the clump of villains onto an out-of-sight spot. The water starts calming, and Midoriya returns to normal and settles on the shore of the shipwreck zone. Tsu and Mineta head over to Deku. Midoriya, wake up! Deku starts to wake up. What happened? You don't remember anything? Wasn't it at least fuzzy last time? I don't remember anything that just happened. I just remembered that water hand hitting the boat. Then something weird. Then waking up. What happened? Well, you kinda turned into a woman. And then you did something nuts with the water. What? We'll talk about it later. It looks like Aizawa drew most of the villains to the middle. He's probably getting tired by now. The three students get closer to the fight to see what's happening. Aizawa is holding them off, but not for long. Shigaraki grabs Aizawa's elbow, which then begins to decay. Aizawa escapes and holds off some more villains. Then, Shigaraki speaks.
By the way, hero, I'm not the last boss.
The Nomu grabs Aizawa and starts to bash him in.
Midoriya, I can't take it anymore. I'm sure you must be having second thoughts, right?
Shigaraki sees the trio.
Let's smash some of his pride.
He charged towards them, reaching for Tsu. His hand made contact and nothing happened. They saw Eraserhead looking at Shigaraki. Deku jumped up, preparing to hit Shigaraki with a smash. He sent it off and quickly noticed that his arm wasn't broken. He felt accomplishment, but it quickly vanished when he looked up and saw that the Nomu took his shot, and that it didn't leave a mark. Suddenly, All Might burst through the doors with a furious look on his face.
It's fine now. I am here.
All Might threw his suit jacket to the side and charged forward, taking out some low-level villains and saving Aizawa. Then, he got Deku, Tsu, and Mineta out of the way. The trio started taking Aizawa back up to the entrance. All Might went for a Carolina smash at Shigaraki, but the Nomu got in the way, leaving no damage. The two started trading blows. All Might slammed the Nomu into the ground, but Kurogiri saved it and helped it grab All Might's weak spot. Deku handed Aizawa to Tsu and started running. Deku started sending some fire jabs towards the Nomu, but Kurogiri stopped all of them. He rushed towards Deku only for Bakugo to run in and blast him. Todoroki arrived and froze half the Nomu, allowing All Might to get away. The Nomu shattered the ice along with its limbs, which quickly regenerated. All Might took a blow from the Nomu and was sent flying back. The Nomu and All Might quickly started trading blows once more. All Might hit the Nomu with a punch so hard, it shook the whole USJ and blew the Nomu through the roof.
I really have weakened. Back in my heyday, that would only have taken 5 hits, but it took more than 300 mighty blows.
What's going on? He's not weaker at all. Did that guy lie to me?
All Might started to produce smoke. Kurogiri turned to Shigaraki.
Shigaraki, please calm yourself. Look at his wounds. The Nomu did significant damage to him. He has weakened.
Shigaraki charges towards All Might.
This is revenge for Nomu.
Deku threw a one-for-all enhanced fire jab towards Shigaraki, but Kurogiri caught it. He then made a portal, letting Shigaraki reach for Deku, who then grabbed Shigaraki's arm and bent it. Suddenly, the door burst open as all the UA teachers burst forth. Kurogiri saved Shigaraki by putting a portal under Deku to the ceiling of the USJ. Shigaraki and Kurogiri warped out of there, leaving Deku to fall. Except, we totally know that Deku saved himself by blasting some fire to slow him down. He landed and saw how All Might was almost turning back, but Cementos took care of it. Later, Deku was in the nurse's office next to All Might, and after a bit of talking and a fix-up from Recovery Girl, he leaves to go talk to Mineta and Tsu.
Midoriya, if you know something about what happened, you need to tell us about it.
It's a bit complicated. Deku hands them an address. I'm not sure how deep this rabbit hole goes, but if you want to follow me down, meet me at this address tomorrow morning at 5. Midoriya goes home and goes to sleep with more questions than ever. Well, that was part 4 of What If Deku Was the Avatar, and I'm so sorry, everyone. The audio is just so terrible, and this video editing app sucks, and it's all I'm able to use. Please forgive me. Gomennasai. Anyway, you know the like goal. But the next What If video will be What If Deku Was a Dragon Rider, which hopefully will be posted this Saturday. Until next time, mabuhay. Mabu.